our tools and within Eclipse tools as well, some of the statements that, Eclipse is very thrilled to have us work together. And things like sponsoring OSCON, which is probably one of the premier open source conferences in the US. We're hoping that we'll have something very exciting also in Canada, Montreal specifically. But we're one of the platinum sponsors or diamond sponsors, which is actually really cool. And these are some of the other conferences and conventions that we help sponsor, from ApacheCon to PyCon to MoodleCon, OSCON and MySQLCon, RubyCon, etc. So these are just some examples. And bottom line is, besides contribution and sort of the working with the different organizations, we also really focus on the community. I kind of talked about some of the things that we do on a global level, but what's really interesting is local. Here in Canada, we do some really exciting things like PHP and Windows competition that we did earlier this year, where we actually had kind of professional versus student developer when it comes to PHP and Windows, and we put together a prize. And one of the finalists was actually from Montreal, Doug Sertan, with his application Sucksorter. And he took some of the PHP code that he had previously and made it work in Windows, was one of the finalists. Unfortunately, he didn't win. The winner was a student from UBC, from Vancouver, that developed and ported an application that ran on, it was an application that took translate data for the bus schedules and made it work with Google Maps, Big Maps, and it was a really exciting application. And the way he won is we actually had this event called Make Web Not War. And by the way, besides kind of like the competition, we also work with local activities like WordCamp. And Brendan here, vendor Schreier, that's so close. So. We work closely together because we participated in WordCamp and helped sponsor WordCamp and build that relationship over many months, where we actually saw value in working together and helping with WordPress activities and making it known that WordPress runs in Windows, and helping PHP developers realize that there's a lot more to their work and how to basically write a blog, how to develop, and he helped us promote this activity. And we had this event called Make Web Not War last year. And this was very exciting for us because this was a non-Microsoft developer event mostly. We had 70% people who are not Microsoft developers, just community developers that came out. And we kind of made it really fun. Again, this is Drop the Digibomb from Brendan, and just kind of a little plug. And basically, I wanted to introduce a couple people as they go along. So Brendan is one of the people that has actually moved to Montreal from Toronto, and PHP User Group of Toronto used to be his baby. It's now still an open source community. But Brendan is actively involved with WordCamps, and we're hoping there's going to be one in Montreal very soon, right?
There is.
Yeah, there is. So I'll get Brendan a chance to chat a little bit about sort of the value of the work that he does and how we work together. And also, here locally, we sponsored WordCamp Montreal just this past July. We actually worked with iWeb on this, and we were kind of like one of the major sponsors, and got recognized. This is iWeb's blog, and very happy that the relationship with iWeb is growing. iWeb does a lot of Linux hosting, a lot of hosting of PHP pages, and they see that some of the customers are looking to do the same thing on Windows. So it's really exciting. We sponsor local activities in Quebec, such as PHP Quebec activities. Jan Lageve is here. Jan so Jan is one of the other people that we invited because some of the relationships and some of the things that we've had. And Doug Sertan is your good friend. You came out to our conference, and we came out to your conference, and we're helping sponsor this another very exciting thing coming up. This is Kung Fu. KungFu.ca is Jan's conference that he's helping organize together with other communities. There's a lot of different communities that are involved. There's the Python community, I think hopefully Ruby community as well, PHP community, and even work that we do with .NET communities as well. This is going to be a Canadian Montreal conference, and we're very proud of it because this is our local thing that we do with the community. And lastly, besides kind of like the work that we do with specific specific communities, we also work with specific applications too. And today we also have Mark Laporte in the back there, who is probably one of the most recognized people here when it comes to TikiWiki, which is his baby and the project that he works on very actively. And this is just one other example of a local application, application that is a lot of the developers are here, as well as other being an open source community project. There's a lot of different places where people develop, but the interesting thing is that we're working together to resolve some issues of how TikiWiki works on Windows. We want to make sure that it works well, runs on IIS, and can use SQL Server, etc. So these are some of the things that we do and actively participate in making sure that we work with Mark here and send back questions and hit those guys in Redmond over the head saying, make it work. So that's kind of like a long story, but bottom line is why we're doing it and why we're so much involved is this is back to sort of the Microsoft web installer. It makes it easy for people to install applications. You actually see there's Gallery, which is the open source PHP app, and .NET Nuke, which is the .NET app, and WordPress. What I want to do is I want to actually see some Canadian applications here, the featured app. Like I really want to see a TikiWiki here in the next few months. I want to do enough work with the community to make it possible to see our the fruits of my work possible. And I think this is a lot of it. Comes down to asking you guys to help us share and spread the word about the work that we're doing, help spread the word and share the perspective that I just gave you about sort of Microsoft and open source. That it's not really black and white. There is a lot more history and relationship to it. And share the story, but also at the same time ask questions. And you're here today because I would want you to ask questions from me, from other people that are here from Microsoft, and I'll introduce them. Starting with Christian Bouclair, who is one of our evangelists, developer evangelists. He does it really fantastically. Joey Davila, that I mentioned before, he has a fantastic set of blogs, actually. Global Nerdy, probably is one
Global Nerdy.
What's that?
Global Nerdy, not local nerdy.
No, that's why I say Global Nerdy.
Oh, okay.
A Global Nerdy. We should have a local nerdy too. But
yeah.
That's one of my favorite blogs to read, and really exciting, fascinating stories. And Deanne Tanzer, where are you, Deanne? In the back there, that has everything there is to know about hosting and different services that Microsoft does in order to make it easy for people to deploy and run their apps. And Arun Karupa on our team that a lot of the open source community guys know because he's the only other guy that works with me together in the open source strategy team in Canada. We're a big team of just 2 people.
For all of Microsoft.
Yeah, all of the Microsoft.
2 people.
And the very last thing is that I just wanted to share this message with you guys. And the message really is coming from me as a guy that works in Canada. I don't work in Redmond. I care about sort of the work that we do locally, the communities that we touch, the various events that we have. Being able to interact with you here, have you guys ask questions, talk to our evangelists, talk to Brendan, talk to Jan, talk to Mark in the back, basically, bottom line is, we want to make sure to spread the word. We are hoping to have a really exciting event in May, which will build on the success. I know that Confu is going to be a very successful developer conference targeting web. We're thinking about having the next Make Web Not War, which last year was in Toronto. This year, we decided to take it to Montreal. So this is kind of like the big news. The next Make Web Not War, which was 150 people last year. Everybody was saying, when is the next one? When's the next one? We decided it's going to be in Montreal. There's a lot of work being done here. There's great communities. So we wanted to announce it and have you guys also spread the word, because we will be having this as the next kind of cool, fun conference for people that not just develop for web, but also do work around web and host and blog, have wikis, etc. And we're hoping for all the guys that both develop and have communities and applications to be there. And that's the URL webnetwork.ca. So spread the word. And if you guys have questions, Arun and I, we both are at PHP and Windows. So that we have some sort of good updates, etc., of the work that we do. It's kind of funny because we're like out of all the different countries and corporate Redmond, we're the only ones that got PHP and Windows. Because kind of our commitment to making it work. And I'm at Nick_G on Twitter, nickg at Microsoft.com. At PHP and Windows, and if you guys have questions, ping me by Twitter or email, or just chat with me today. So that was my real quick kind of message. Hope you guys found it interesting. And again, we're going to keep this as an interactive type of discussion. So anytime you have questions now, later, wish there was a place to sit so we can kind of chat longer, but we can also mingle on you guys. Ask anything that you wish. So that was it from me.